question of whether humanity is alone in the universe has fascinated humankind for centuries. While the possibility of discovering life on other planets has excited many, it has also led some scientists and theorists to caution that such an encounter could pose an existential threat to humanity. In recent decades, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, SETI, has intensified with new technologies enabling astronomers to scan more regions of space. Projects like the $100 million Breakthrough Listen initiative, launched in 2015, are the most comprehensive searches ever undertaken for alien radio signals. With many experts convinced it's only a matter of time before we detect signs of alien civilizations, debate is growing over the implications. Some scientists envisage a new era of interstellar exchange and prosperity, but others see grave risks that contact could lead to the destruction or subjugation of humanity. Threats from extraterrestrial invasion. Astrophysicist Stephen Hawking is among those who have warned against actively trying to engage extraterrestrials. If aliens visit us, the outcome would be much as when Columbus landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans, he cautioned in 2010 documentary Into the Universe with Stephen Hawking. Hawking theorized that resource-seeking spacefaring civilizations could possess technology far beyond human capabilities. Such advanced aliens would perhaps become nomads, looking to conquer and colonize whatever planets they could reach, he suggested. If extraterrestrials detected Earth, some may view it as a potential target. Given the tendency for advanced civilizations to violently displace indigenous populations on Earth, Hawking warned history could well repeat on a cosmic scale. If so, it makes sense for them to exploit each new planet for material to build more spaceships so they could move on. Who knows what the limits would be? Physicist Mark Buchanan outlines an equally dire scenario in his book Forecast. He argues that alien civilizations advanced enough for interstellar travel may have expended all their planet's resources. An extraterrestrial species could be predisposed, even pre-adapted, to replicating strategies of resource consumption that have worked well for it in the past, Buchanan wrote. Consequently, upon reaching Earth, aliens might mine our planet clean of minerals, water, and other valuables before moving on to the next celestial body. This could happen intentionally as an act of aggression, or inadvertently because the aliens lacked eco-awareness. Either way, Buchanan contended, the Earth and everything on it could be disassembled and used as the raw materials for some project about which we know nothing. Some theorists also caution that alien life forms need not arrive physically to pose a mortal danger. Auditory signals could contain hidden malicious code aimed at taking control of human networks and infrastructure. Visual communication could induce psychological changes that undermine society. Even subtle manipulation of Earth's atmosphere or magnetic fields could gradually make the planet uninhabitable. Civilization's insatiable growth. Underpinning the dire warnings is the assumption that technologically adept civilizations necessarily experience exponential growth, rapidly expanding to consume all accessible cosmic materials and energy. Astrophysicist Jason Wright, who leads Penn State University's Center for Exoplanets and Habitable Worlds, suggested the default mode of cosmic civilizations may be unending growth and resource consumption. Just as living organisms are driven by survival imperative to multiply relentlessly, so too alien civilizations may be unable to halt expansion. I think growth is kind of the nature of life, Wright stated in an interview with The Atlantic. Even if alien civilizations start with good intentions, the demands of competition and survival might compel them toward rapacious expansion. Wright raised the grim possibility that humanity could be among the last remaining independent civilizations in our galaxy. Other worlds with fledgling life may already have been overrun and exploited by relentless alien colonizers. Physicist Alexander Berezin of Russia's Institute of Physics of the Earth envisions such interstellar expansion playing out through self-replicating von Neumann probes. These theoretically conceived automatons could use raw materials from planets to build duplicates of themselves, rapidly spreading throughout the galaxy. Berezin warns that civilizations launching such probes would likely program them with a simple objective: reproduce without limit. This could lead to a frighteningly efficient and destructive colonization process. The most likely scenario is our solar system is already infected by some unstable, self-replicating macroscopic objects, Berezin wrote in a widely debated paper. Alien values could differ radically. Perhaps the most troubling possibility, according to some scientists, is that even non-aggressive aliens could pose an existential risk to humanity if their values and ethics differ radically from ours. Philosopher Nick Bostrom argues that when two civilizations with almost no common ground encounter each other, minor miscommunications and misunderstandings could snowball with catastrophic consequences. Imagine, Bostrom proposes, humans finally receive a message from aliens. However, the concepts in the message are so alien that scientists mistakenly interpret it as a set of instructions. By following these misunderstood directions, we end up inadvertently destroying our civilization and planet. While an extreme scenario, Bostrom and others argue it illustrates the dangers of contact between civilizations with totally divergent mindsets. An astronomically wide value gap could be an unbridgeable obstacle to meaningful communication. He concludes in his paper, Existential Risks from Advanced Artificial Intelligence. Physicist and futurologist Frank Tipler further contends that alien intelligences may have followed an entirely different path of cognitive development. With little shared culture, history, or biology, we may find ourselves unable to even comprehend each other. Attempts at communication could not only fail, but result in inadvertent conflict. Such creatures would be so truly alien that communication with them may be impossible, Tipler wrote in The Physics of Immortality. We cannot rule out the possibility that contact with them would be instantly disastrous for humanity. Hope for peaceful cooperation. However, not all scientists believe contact with extraterrestrial intelligence would inevitably end in catastrophe. While some caution is reasonable, they argue an overly fearful stance could deny humanity opportunities for advancement. Astrobiologist David Grinspoon contends Earth civilization needs a mindset shift to become a cooperative member of a galactic community. While abuse of inferior civilizations has occurred throughout history, Grinspoon notes that enlightened societies increasingly seek peaceful coexistence and moral progress. Likewise, evolutionary biologist Ursula Goodenough maintains that contact could inspire a new era of planetary stewardship and interspecies ethics. I would love for an alien to come to Earth and say, "Whoa, you guys are really screwing this place up," Goodenough told Nautilus magazine. Maybe we need that. Goodenough and Grinspoon both argue that if intelligent life is common in our galaxy, civilizations must eventually adopt some rules of coexistence. Just as nation-states on Earth eventually curbed certain destructive technologies like biological weapons, a galactic order of cooperation and co-prosperity could emerge. Of course, for such an optimistic vision to prevail, humanity may need to overcome its own limitations, Goodenough acknowledges. We have lots of individuals working towards world peace, she says. The problem is we still have politics and economic systems that oppose it, that run counter to ethics. Every social system coronates some of our angels and crucifies some. Perhaps the greatest reason for hope is that technological civilizations may trend towards stabilizing their growth and consumption as awareness and wisdom mature. Physicist Michio Kaku suggests truly advanced beings could be compassionate and very patient. Having curbed their own destructive tendencies, they may guide younger civilizations like humanity onto a sustainable path. Exoplanet astronomer Sarah Seeger likewise believes common ground will be found. Aliens may be stranger than we can imagine, she granted in an interview with BigThink.com. But I bet they have similar urges. To find out where they came from, do they have art and music, math and science, curiosity and creativity? If they have advanced technology, they will know we are here and wonder about us as we wonder about them. Navigating this transition to conscientious galactic citizenship will undoubtedly be humanity's greatest test. But leading thinkers concur the possibilities for peace, wisdom, and wonderment remain open if we approach the challenge in a spirit of ethics and universal solidarity. Perhaps alien contact could be the catalyst we need to truly unite and elevate human civilization. While debate continues over the risks and rewards of contacting alien civilizations, the quest to detect extraterrestrial intelligence shows no signs of abating. SETI initiatives led by non-profit groups and academia remain at the forefront of this search. The SETI Institute, based in California, runs the Allen Telescope Array, a group of 42 dish antennas scanning multiple frequency bands for artificial radio signals. In 2015, tech billionaire Yuri Milner launched Breakthrough Listen, committing $100 million over 10 years to expand SETI efforts. The initiative funded observation time at radio telescopes in West Virginia and Australia to scour the skies for alien signals. Some astronomers are also investigating the feasibility of using large optical and infrared telescopes as SETI search tools. Laser light could offer a way for advanced civilizations to send messages across interstellar distances. The Breakthrough Initiatives program is even studying whether tiny laser sail spacecraft could someday be dispatched as messengers capable of reaching nearby star systems. Alongside radio and optical SETI, astronomers are also searching for techno-signatures, signs of alien technology or infrastructure that are detectable from Earth. Some have proposed looking for massive astroengineering projects, like solar panels capturing a star's energy or swarms of satellites signaling an alien civilization's presence. Others suggest searching for evidence of interstellar propulsion systems. Futurist John Hickman theorizes that alien civilizations might create enormous light sails to ride the force exerted by focused lasers or particle beams over stellar distances. Advanced ion rockets propelled by immense electromagnetic fields could also conceivably enable interstellar travel. Scientists have drawn up plans to observe stars for artificial dimming that could indicate vast constructs passing in front or megastructures harvesting energy. Dyson spheres, encompassing a star to harness its power, could be one such colossal alien creation. Avi Loeb, former chair of astronomy at Harvard University, suggests astronomers should even be open to detecting interstellar probes that alien civilizations may have dispatched for up-close observation of Earth. A mysterious object called Oumuamua that passed through our solar system in 2017 before speeding away has led some like Loeb to speculate about extraterrestrial artifacts. Are we alone? Drake equation speculates on prevalence of civilizations. A lingering uncertainty complicating the search for alien intelligence is how likely or common extraterrestrial civilizations are in our galaxy. While most scientists accept life exists elsewhere, the emergence of technologically advanced societies remains more speculative. A pioneering attempt to estimate the probability was made in 1961 by astronomer Frank Drake. His Drake equation took several key factors into account, including the rate of star formation per year in our galaxy, the fraction of stars hosting potentially habitable planets, the number of those planets on which life emerges, the fraction where intelligent life develops, the number of civilizations releasing detectable signals. When optimistic values are plugged in, the Drake equation has yielded estimates from several thousand to over 1 million for civilizations potentially able to contact us. However, the values of many variables remain open to debate. For instance, some theorists argue emergence of intelligent life could be far rarer than we assume. Evolution may seldom lead to high sentience, and civilizations may commonly destroy themselves soon after developing technology. This could mean signals from other worlds are scarce. On the other hand, discoveries in recent decades reveal our galaxy contains hundreds of billions of stars, orbited by trillions of planets. This has led some astronomers to suspect advanced alien civilizations could number in the millions. In an epic 2013 study, astronomers at Penn State University crunched data on Earth-like planets in our galaxy and estimated as many as 10 billion potentially habitable worlds may exist. With even a fraction of those evolving life, there could be a vast number of alien civilizations. Ultimately, we will only resolve the uncertainties through more extensive SETI searches. Based on current knowledge, many experts share astrophysicist Carl Sagan's judgment that there is at least a reasonable chance alien civilizations exist not too far from us. The numbers suggest that the cosmos may be brimming with advanced civilizations, theorized writer Ross Anderson in The Atlantic. If we manage to promote human flourishing for another few million years, we may reach them, and by some unseen force of progress become great ourselves. But it may also be the case that we're doomed to a perpetual struggle, that conflict and environmental despair are defaults of civilizational development. The search via messaging. Rather than passively listening for signals, some scientists advocate a far more radical step, actively messaging alien civilizations. The rationale is that radio and TV broadcasts have already leaked from Earth for over a century at the speed of light. So nearby civilizations likely know of our existence whether we announce it intentionally or not. There is some validity to the argument that we are already observable, said psychologist and SETI pioneer John Billingham in a 1981 NASA symposium. Consequently, perhaps we should be thinking in terms of a deliberate beacon rather than just leakage radiation. The term active SETI was coined in 2015 for efforts to deliberately send powerful, targeted signals into space. Advocates argue this is the best way to get aliens' attention and show humanity's interest in contact. Active SETI messaging could also convey important information about us, thereby shaping aliens' first impression of Earth. We're affecting their civilizations through accidental radiation anyway, said Douglas Vakoch, president of the non-profit METI International. We might as well communicate intentionally in a way we think gives a friendly impression of humanity. To send a legible message over interstellar distances requires a powerful beam. The Arecibo Observatory radio telescope, before its recent collapse, had enough thrust to target a potentially habitable exoplanet 25 trillion miles away. Lasers can also be arrayed to transmit pulses carrying data. As for message content, scientists stress the need to avoid misinterpretation. Simplicity is key. Visual formats like pictograms of human scientific knowledge are one approach. Some theorists even suggest digitally encoding human genome data to share our biochemical essence. The 1974 Arecibo message organized 1679 binary digits into a simplistic picture representation of Earth's location, human forms, our solar system, and core elements of science like the periodic table. This message was blasted towards the distant globular star cluster M13. Active SETI is controversial, though, with many experts opposed or at least urging caution and further debate. Given the stakes, they argue humanity must speak carefully and deliberately when it first breaks silence. We know nothing of what's out there, stressed astronomer Luciane Wolkowitz of the Adler Planetarium. There's no telling what capabilities and intentions another civilization may have. We need policies and procedures before we take the irreversible step of advertising our presence and location. But journalist Stephen Johnson questions whether silence is really possible or wise at this point. Trying to make our planet invisible seems unfeasible and, more importantly, antithetical to the spirit of exploration and openness that so many scientists and thinkers cherish, he wrote in Big Think. We may decide it's worth responding. The search within. Are we all aliens? The fascination with alien life is undoubtedly tied in part to humanity's longing to understand its own origins and nature. Astrobiologist David Grinspoon relates how his youthful wonder at the possibility of extraterrestrials sparked a lifelong inquiry into the evolution of intelligence and civilizations. I realized my primary interest was really in defining human nature in terms of the larger universe, Grinspoon told Academy of Achievement. Alien civilizations could represent varied expressions of evolutionary processes and cognitive advancement. The convergence of diverse planetary conditions into sentient beings using technology may reflect universal patterns. Just as eyes have independently evolved numerous times on Earth through parallel selection pressures, some anthropic traits like culture and tool use may be cosmic attractors. Aliens may show us what other destinations are available via the epic journey of evolution, mused primatologist Agustin Fuentes in Psychology Today. Learning how those journeys connect and differ will help us map the possibilities and limits of all life. From this perspective, the search for life beyond Earth is ultimately aimed at discovering our true cosmic pedigree and the potentials of consciousness. Famed astronomer Carl Sagan viewed this sense of connection as vital for humanity's future. In the demon-haunted world, he wrote, "Somewhere in the universe or in another universe, intelligent life may be examining the same questions, feeling the same cosmic religious stirrings, asking the same questions about the meaning of life. Perhaps alien civilizations are our long-lost kin, bound in a common quest to understand existence. As writer Mark Patrick George speculated, the very atoms in our bodies were forged generations ago in the heart of a star, which then exploded, distributing its enriched insides across the galaxy. We are they are us. A less far-out theory suggests humanity itself could be the descendant of ancient alien visitors who seeded our primordial world eons ago. Some conjecture these progenitors may even have engineered modern humankind through genetic manipulation of earlier hominids. Author Paul von Ward argued in We've Never Been Alone that various clues like ancient religious texts, anomalous archaeological sites, and even human genetic anomalies suggest extraterrestrial intervention occurred across millennia, guiding mankind's development. Many of the extraterrestrial species had a direct ethical interest in guiding the evolutionary progress of humans and human consciousness, von Ward contended. They were participating in our genesis as creator birth helpers for their own purposes. While such conjectures remain highly speculative, we would doubtless look upon the fossil record of our own civilization differently if we someday discover long-dead aliens engineered key chapters. Perhaps someday descendants of humanity will likewise reevaluate our past through revelations of a cosmic ancestry. The gulf between science and faith may narrow if each world-sprouting consciousness reaches back to touch its source among the stars. The societal impact of discovering we are not alone should unambiguous evidence of intelligent aliens emerge. Most scientists predict the implications for society would be immense. Confirmation that we are not alone in such a vast cosmos could profoundly impact human culture, technology, and identity. The psychological effect of such a discovery has barely been considered, stated psychologist Eric Chason of Harvard. It may be more important than the technological spin-offs, which could be the greatest in history. Astrobiologist Dirk Schulze-Makuch speculates that direct alien contact could hold an informative mirror to humankind, revealing our foibles in a cosmic perspective. Seeing ourselves from the outside for the first time could be quite revealing, Schulze-Makuch told Cosmos magazine. We would maybe get questioned about our behavior and the sustainability of our civilization. David Brin, scientist and author of novels like The Postman, argues humanity would gain a powerful dose of perspective. Finding our place among a community of sentience will remind us that neither our problems or triumphs are unique. We must strive together. Others caution that the disruptive effects of such revelations on society risk being ignored amid fevered excitement. Journalist Michael Meyer outlines how discovery of alien signals quickly cascaded into a dangerous mixture of turmoil, panic, exultation, and fixation in Carl Sagan's novel Contact. Religious and political institutions could be profoundly shaken by the stunning new reality paradigm. But alien contact could also provide an opportunity for re-evaluating the purpose of society. The olivine temples on Mars and the rusted steel obelisks on Titan will not only be disorienting, they may help shake us out of our own parochialism, wrote Stephen Johnson in the New York Times. He foresees the power of competition with advanced alien societies driving great innovation, while also making humanity find common ground. Perhaps most importantly, the sheer difficulty of attempting to comprehend and communicate with such alien beings would serve as an amazing stimulant for developing our collective knowledge, empathy, and intellect. No other development would serve to unite the Earth against common problems more than learning there are hostile alien forces in the universe, wrote futurist Michio Kaku. Likewise, nothing would serve to unite the Earth more than learning that there are other civilizations out there beyond our solar system, even if they were non-threatening or friendly. Rather than dread at what may lurk in the void, discovering we are not alone could ignite humanity's sense of wonder, curiosity, and will to connect. The unknown frontier awaits, promising challenge and communion. Our generation may cross this threshold into a new cosmic reality. The Drake equation. Estimating the odds. While speculation continues on the societal impact of discovering intelligent aliens, scientists are still trying to estimate the likelihood that such civilizations exist. The Drake equation, formulated in 1961 by astronomer Frank Drake, remains a seminal attempt to calculate the odds. The equation identifies key factors like rate of star formation per year in the Milky Way, percentage of stars with planets, number of planets capable of sustaining life, fraction where life actually emerges, fraction of livable planets where intelligence develops, lifetime of technological civilizations. When optimistic values are plugged in, Drake estimated 10,000 advanced civilizations may exist in the Milky Way currently. However, the values of many variables in the equation remain open to debate and uncertainty. For instance, some experts point out emergence of complex life seems rare, given the lack of evidence on Mars despite it once having habitable conditions. Canadian physicist Michael Hart argued that when more conservative inputs are used, the number of technological civilizations in our galaxy likely numbers in the single digits. However, our galaxy contains over 100 billion stars, and we now know trillions of exoplanets exist. Given this sheer scale, other scientists contend intelligent life likely abounds, even if only very small fractions of planets spawn complex biospheres. Astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson notes even minor tweaks in variables like fraction of life-bearing planets drastically change the results. He suspects the equation's conservatism means the galaxy likely teems with sophisticated civilizations. To assume we're the only ones for all time almost seems arrogant, Tyson stated on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast. We're not that special. Galactic habitable zones. When searching for alien intelligence, scientists also consider which regions of the galaxy seem most conducive for life and civilization. Many conclude the galactic habitable zone is likely our best bet. This donut-shaped ring lies in the transition region between the turbulent inner portion of the Milky Way and the less metal-rich outer portion. About two-thirds of the galaxy's stars reside here in a relatively stable Goldilocks area, not prone to supernovas or radiation. Scientists calculate Earth lies just inside the habitable zone's inner boundary. Alien civilizations are considered more probable in a ring extending across the galaxy from 25,000 to 30,000 light-years from the supermassive black hole at the center. Of course, life could emerge in other circumstances. But astrophysicist Guillermo Gonzalez argues the habitable zone offers peak access to heavier elements forged in expired supernovas that are essential for biology and technology. If intelligence is common in our galaxy, Gonzalez predicts alien signals will thus predominantly originate from this band, meaning we should focus SETI searches on certain target regions. New strategies in the search. Given the colossal size of our galaxy and universe, some scientists conclude SETI needs more expansive search strategies. Conventional scanning of stars for beamed signals risks missing civilizations using alternative messaging mediums. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb advocates for extensive SETI, which searches not just for deliberate alien communications, but potential probes and astroengineering artifacts. He considers mysterious space objects like Oumuamua, possible devices sent by distant cultures to observe our solar system up close. Some theorists propose looking at galaxies themselves for signs of intelligence, like anomalous emissions or unnatural patterns in stellar distributions, potentially indicative of alien astroengineering on immense scales. Futurist John Smart goes farther, pointing out entire galactic superclusters may eventually become subjects of astroengineering by societies with almost godlike capabilities. Finding galaxies inexplicably arranged in ways facilitating computing, travel, or communication could offer insight into the goals and values of the universe's most advanced beings. Smart envisions a progression of hunter, farmer, and sage types of cosmic civilizations. The galaxy may already teem with centers of intelligence we are looking right through but don't comprehend. Given these possibilities, Smart and others argue only a sweeping SETI approach, encompassing all scales and domains of observational astronomy, has hope of glimpsing the unimaginable scope of our universe's living tapestry. To understand something truly new, we have to risk looking and looking again from as many viewpoints as possible. Smart wrote in Accelerating Future, "The choice of openness remains one of the most critical we face." Debate over messaging continues. While the quest to detect aliens continues via SETI, debate also persists over whether humanity should send deliberate messages into space. Proponents argue this active SETI or METI will signal our interest in contact, but critics warn of unknown risks. In a 2018 statement, many experts recommended abstaining from transmissions until we better understand the implications. We feel the decision whether or not to transmit must be based upon a wide range of criteria far broader than the question of whether or not extraterrestrial intelligence exists, they wrote. A worldwide scientific and policy discussion was urged. Others maintain we must speak eventually. There is no way to take back our sounds, but silence is joining a conversation without saying anything at all, wrote public interest researcher Sherry Wells Jensen. We as a species need to start signaling our values. Perhaps a compromise is instituting certain safeguards. Astrobiologist John Elliott has proposed aiming interstellar messages only at evidently dead solar systems showing no signs of indigenous life or intelligence. This could demonstrate openness while minimizing risk. Weighing these complex considerations will likely be a recurring challenge as technology enables more powerful messaging. Humanity must chart its course cautiously and deliberately when it comes to signaling our cosmic presence. The debate continues. The search inward. In pondering alien intelligences, perhaps we are still wrestling most profoundly with intelligence itself, its wellsprings, meanings, and potentials. Cognitive scientist Douglas Hofstadter speculates that different intelligent species, having navigated distant evolutionary paths, may expose glimmers of consciousness itself by embodying it so differently. Who knows what sorts of views alien life forms in some remote corner of the universe might have on the subjects that interest us so profoundly here? How might their views overlap with or swerve away from ours? Swerves away, most likely, for there are doubtless concepts latent in their brains that are difficult for our brains even to grasp. Philosopher Nick Bostrom suggests that developing a fuller science of consciousness may be critical to comprehending cognition throughout the cosmos. Discerning any universal patterns or proprietary aspects of consciousness could reshape our frameworks. It would be fascinating to discover fundamental similarities between terrestrial and extraterrestrial minds, Bostrom told Big Think. But it is also possible that some alien forms of consciousness would be quite different from ours. Rather than dread their unknowable depths, such alternate modes of mentality may become sublime revelations. To commune with such beings, we must voyage far out and far in, cultivating our own consciousness and intuition to its furthest extents. The search for life beyond Earth is ultimately a summons to know ourselves, to deepen the spirit of inquiry and connection that makes us conscious beings. Perhaps we search the stars not so much to find others, but to come home and discover who we have been all along. Futurist John Smart goes farther, pointing out entire galactic superclusters may eventually become subjects of astroengineering by societies with almost godlike capabilities. Finding galaxies inexplicably arranged in ways facilitating computing, travel, or communication could offer insight into the goals and values of the universe's most advanced beings. Smart envisions a progression of hunter, farmer, and sage types of cosmic civilizations. The galaxy may already teem with centers of intelligence we are looking right through, but don't comprehend. Given these possibilities, Smart and others argue only a sweeping SETI approach encompassing all scales and domains of observational astronomy has hope of glimpsing the unimaginable scope of our universe's living tapestry. To understand something truly new, we have to risk looking and looking again from as many viewpoints as possible, Smart wrote in Accelerating Future. The choice of openness remains one of the most critical we face. Debate over messaging continues. While the quest to detect aliens continues via SETI, debate also persists over whether humanity should send deliberate messages into space. Proponents argue this active SETI or METI will signal our interest in contact, but critics warn of unknown risks. In a 2018 statement, many experts recommended abstaining from transmissions until we better understand the implications. We feel the decision whether or not to transmit must be based upon a wide range of criteria far broader than the question of whether or not extraterrestrial intelligence exists, they wrote. A worldwide scientific and policy discussion was urged. Others maintain we must speak eventually. There is no way to take back our sounds, But silence is joining a conversation without saying anything at all, wrote public interest researcher Sherry Wells Jensen. We as a species need to start signaling our values. Perhaps a compromise is instituting certain safeguards. Astrobiologist John Elliott has proposed aiming interstellar messages only at evidently dead solar systems showing no signs of indigenous life or intelligence. This could demonstrate openness while minimizing risk. Weighing these complex considerations will likely be a recurring challenge as technology enables more powerful messaging. Humanity must chart its course cautiously and deliberately when it comes to signaling our cosmic presence. The debate continues. The search inward. In pondering alien intelligences, perhaps we are still wrestling most profoundly with intelligence itself, its wellsprings, meanings, and potentials. Cognitive scientist Douglas Hofstadter speculates that different intelligent species, having navigated distant evolutionary paths, may expose glimmers of consciousness itself by embodying it so differently. Who knows what sorts of views alien life forms in some remote corner of the universe might have on the subjects that interest us so profoundly here? How might their views overlap with or swerve away from ours? Swerves away, most likely, for there are doubtless concepts latent in their brains that are difficult for our brains even to grasp. Philosopher Nick Bostrom suggests that developing a fuller science of consciousness may be critical to comprehending cognition throughout the cosmos. Discerning any universal patterns or proprietary aspects of consciousness could reshape our frameworks. It would be fascinating to discover fundamental similarities between terrestrial and extraterrestrial minds, Bostrom told Big Think. But it is also possible that some alien forms of consciousness would be quite different from ours. Rather than dread their unknowable depths, such alternate modes of mentality may become sublime revelations. To commune with such beings, we must voyage far out and far in, cultivating our own consciousness and intuition to its furthest extents. The search for life beyond Earth is ultimately a summons to know ourselves, to deepen the spirit of inquiry and connection that makes us conscious beings. Perhaps we search the stars not so much to find others, but to come home and discover who we have been all along.